Ever dream of making it in the music business? A couple of our listeners in Columbus, Ohio, are taking their dreams seriously. Tim York and Michael Hawthorne, known professionally as the T&M Express.
I have a dream that I can fly above the mountains in the eagle sky. There beside me sails a bird with grace and poetry, replacing an emptiness deep inside me, and a simple dream is all she gives to me. Cherish your dreams, they are there to guide you. When the music inside it doesn't utter a sound and your spirit is falling, there's no one around. Your dreams can help you learn to fly again.
I guess it's appropriate to say that we met while we were in San Antonio. My mother is a musical person, and she had seen the performance of Michael's and recommended I come listen to him.
Is that right?
That's true. That's true. And she's had a lot of incidental and coincidental involvement in getting me into this music business. And then when I finally announced it, she wasn't sure that she was ready for me to go do it as a profession. It made her kind of nervous, but she realized that she had been involved in the development of my thinking too.
I always say she fixed us up on a blind date.
Right. That's her. She said, I just think you ought to come listen to this guy. He's just really good. And he's the first person, my partner is, that I felt I could really work with musically.
I hear the chains rattle that Oceansville. I dream of dogs and 45s and work on Cottonwood Hill. The breaking backs and limestone men sweating in the sun. There's 1,000 acres on top of this hill, but there ain't no place to run.
When did you realize you wanted to do more than, say, just play bars in San Antonio or whatever?
Right.
Immediately.
Yes, right. Because, you're working on a formula of a money basis when you're working in a club, which is fine. Everybody has to work on that. But you're doing what you think you need to do. We are doing the same. And then for someone to come up and say, you're not doing the right kind of music, they're not buying enough drinks. I don't like to be caught up in that situation. I also don't like the idea, let's all get drunk and just walk into the walls together, which is what happens by the end of the evening. People are just, it's not an uncomfortable situation for us. And I got the idea that if we worked at it, we could eventually get a foothold and do a majority of our work on a college and university campus where you're not working on a money basis. They've already spent the money to have you there, and now they're concerned with making it a worthwhile program for their students. You're not working in a steady situation. You never get the same paycheck from the same person like you do every Friday, or from the same club owner every week. And but they're very honest and they're very legitimate. Where a club owner is, most of them are working on not most of them, but many of them are working on a basis of making it from one week to the next. And that's your more successful clubs. Of course, it's obvious, because they're doing the business. But when it's borderline and you're playing there, as happened to us out in Lubbock, Texas, one time. We almost didn't get paid, and a lot of times it just happens. There's not much you can do about it.
I know that you say that you love to play, but if you only play to please yourself, it goes down in such a waste. You want to wake up in a different place, but if you go there here instead of there, you wake up with a smile on your face. Tell me what you hear, and don't you feel your strength return to the morning light?
How long have you been doing this?
3.5 years. Perform professionally, that's full time. People always say, they come up and they see the show and they'll say, well, what do you do during the day? And which is interesting because, that's all that the lay public sees.
What do you do during the day?
What do I do during the day, right? You working at night, you learn to combine your work activities with your relaxation and enjoyment activities. So
the last 3 years, we've done every bit of our own management and booking. And
we do all our own booking.
And now a lot of it is automatic. Like I said, this year has been good to us, and we made it over the hump.
That's a little tough, isn't it? I mean,
as far as financially, it was real tough.
Right.
But we
mentally, it was very tough too. You know, how do you call up someone who lives in Sumter, South Carolina, and say, "How would you like to have this really good group come down and work?"
And you're at a
campus?
payphone in Lubbock.
Yes, right. We're going to be passing through if you'll pay us. Otherwise, we won't be passing through.
You're lucky to pay for the call.
Right. Absolutely. Well, there's the one. You know, Ma Bell made a lot more money per month than we did, because our phone bills probably averaged a couple $100 a month, and you throw that in on top of all of the other overhead, and we always felt like she was one of our more significant stockholders.
You can't do it without a van or without a sound system. You can't depend on what...
All those roadies and groupies you've got out there.
You're looking at all the roadies and groupies right here, right? We travel alone, basically. But,
are you happy with where you are after 3.5 years? Which is not to say you wouldn't like to be somewhere else, but I mean, has the development been as good as you'd like?
I think basically, yes. It's there's no telling where the development will go. We have a lot of discussions about that, about moving, about staying together. It's hard to say. But and it moves in leaps and bounds. And sometimes you'll sit there for a while and all of a sudden something will start happening.
Early morning breezes brush my face, and the commonplace invites me. Random aspirations fill my head, and what's up ahead reminds me. Once again the gulls will fly.
How's your confidence right now? Do you see yourself as really going places or parking cars?
I'm very confident. You know, it's a personal confidence. And I think we both have to have a personal confidence in ourselves as individuals and in the entity as a group. We'll grow from that.
I've got a place to go if things go wrong. I was in graduate school in education before I did this, and I can go back there. I've made sure that I've maintained my relationships there with friends and professors. I don't feel an inclination, I don't think right now to do that. I've had some ups and downs here in the last few months, but the last month particularly has been really enjoyable. We've had our best tour was in May, and best one we've ever had. We did an opening concert for comedian Steve Martin, which ended in a bomb scare right in the middle of our set. But we had the packed house. But anyway, the confidence thing is all right.
Have you got a deadline? Have you set a time for yourself?
I said 5 years before I would even consider doing anything else, because it's too easy to get frustrated and fed up and say, I'm going to quit right now because this is the last straw. But I'll let a period of time go by, and then when that arbitrary period of time comes up, then I renew my option to go on. And I think I'm to the point now of wanting to go on a little bit further and see what happens.
For me, it's always been music, though. I've never studied anything else. When I was in school, I studied classical music and drama, and along the lines of opera and musical comedy. And so it'll be this or another form. It'll always be this. That's the reason I say I have the confidence in that I can go somewhere with it. If I stop doing T&M Express as a group, I'll go to Michael Hawthorne as a person, either singing popular contemporary music or back to the classics or musical comedy or such as that. So that's where my options are. I'll be always involved in this.
Michael Hawthorne and Tim York of Columbus, Ohio, the T&M Express.
When your love is inside me, spinning around, and deep in my spirit flows a beautiful sound, and your love becomes my dream to fly forever.
I want to thank engineer Andy Rosenberg for his help in mixing that piece. This is NPR, National Public Radio.